Once you have some ideas in your canvas, you can move on to validate them by clicking on the icon above the chat. By default, SIFT treats every idea like an assumption to start and requires evidence to build confidence in those ideas to be used throughout the system. This follows entrepreneurial best practices by removing bias that comes from interpreting everything yourself. You can upload existing files, market research, meeting transcripts, or do a web search across other tools. I'll just start with a web search across all my ideas to start. This fires off many parallel web searches across all the ideas already in my table. This will take a minute and probably won't give us conclusive evidence, so it's important to do more first-hand work to research and validate your ideas after this. But it's a good starting point for us to go with. While this loads, I'll show you a few other things. You can also use connectors to validate, for example, connecting your Google Analytics, connecting Reddit, connecting your Notion or Google Docs for meeting transcripts, and so on. And you can use standard playbooks or personalized suggestions that are given for your specific situation as well. For example, we see here that it's telling me to filter my customer data for validation signals. And if I clicked on this after the current web search is done, it would ask me where I may have data, for example, in meeting transcripts in my Google Drive, and it would connect that up and start to match those signals to the existing ideas already in my table. So as you can see, you can get very creative here. On the Action tab, you'll notice a few other things. Aside from priority tasks, you can schedule future tasks, or you can check what's already been done in the workspace on the timeline above. Going back here, we see that it's found a bunch of data across several topics already, and it's still going. For example, we can go into the problem tab, and opening these up, we'll see that it did a web search where it found some evidence to support the claim that social data is noisy and it makes customer signal extraction unreliable. That gives us a 38% score, which seems to be the most promising or the highest confidence scores idea in our problem section for us now. If you scroll down, you can see what it came up with as a search term, and you can run other actions on specific ideas to continue to increase your confidence in those. You can get very creative here, so you can ask SIFT for other suggestions or see what it's come up with. Right now we're seeing it says we've opened up a few new topics that we may want to add more ideas to, so we can go back or even just add those ideas directly here in this phase. And eventually, when we feel like we've gotten enough confidence, we can move on to the next phase, which is building. But you can always come back to validate whenever you want. For example, if you feel like your strategy isn't strong enough or something isn't working as expected. But it's just important to remember that you don't need to maximize scores or try to hit a specific number. The point of SIFT is to give you a way to iterate and experiment instead of trying to get fast conclusions. This helps you increase your overall confidence and momentum across the business and avoid bottlenecks or individual things that may be blocking you. We can see here that I don't have very high validation score, so I'm going to keep working on this. But once you do and you feel ready, you can go on to the build phase.